And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man went to mow. That time of the day again. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm not stopping. Are you? One man went to mow. This is what we usually do, and this is when we usually do it. I am here. Where are you? One man went to mow. The eagle has landed. Come join.
Water, only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chief Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dù o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there we are, Iku Koniriwa Agbeshe by the Kegites. So the usual format, not enough of us in here at the moment, but we are carry on nevertheless. Hyperlink in the comment section if you want to come join live on the screen. So you just click on that hyperlink and straight on the screen you are. So to the talking points, let's just bring them up. So Buhari determined to pass water resource bill. This is the minister saying this. So this water resource bill essentially vests the power onto the federal government to tax your boreholes that you have in your private homes. So this is what they are seeking to do. So we look into that. And then the United States continues to hammer on that Twitter space. Twitter suspension, threat to human rights. United States Consul General is the person speaking. So we explore that as well. And the final story, Nnamdi Kanu, lawyer gives update on state of Biafra IPOB leader in detention. So Nnamdi's state of health in detention, we explore that as well. So plenty to go through. I am here. Just your company needed now. I am here. Just your company needed now to complete the session. So gather, come and join. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dù o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. ṣe o.
àmì o.
àrùn kárùn kò.
And there we are, Ikuko Niru Agbeshe by the Care Guides. So there was one missing story that I forgot to bring to your attention, one of the ones advertised. Our PDP Board of Trustee, we will determine fate of Uche Secondus within 72 hours. So we'll explore that as well. So plenty to go through. There's some Buhari narrations that we could go through and some Babangida narrations that we could go through. But we will leave that till later on. But these ones that have been advertised, we will go through. So I'm just talking now just so I can pick my point of entry. So we're coming via the water bill then. So let's come in via the water bill. Buhari regime firmly determined to pass water resource bill, a headline attributed to a minister called Adamu. The National Water Resource Bill, currently before the National Assembly, has been beset by controversies by persons who do not by persons who do so for selfish and political reasons, says Water Resources Minister Suleiman Adamu. So let's take that in its entirety again. The National Resource Bill currently before the National Assembly has been beset by controversies by persons who do so for selfish and political reasons, says Water Resource Minister Suleiman Adamu. The minister said misinformation on the bill was deliberately being sent out to frustrate the bill. President Muhammadu Buhari in July asked the National Assembly to quickly pass the bill, which has generated much controversy. Opponents argued that the bill seeks to hand the control of all water resources in Nigeria to the federal government amidst calls for decentralization of federal authority. So, just to pause there for a moment. So, the criticism of this water bill, and we will go into the meaning of the water bill in a moment, and you'll see how it impacts on you. But the criticism of this water bill, especially, is that in the climate where the clamoring is for devolution and restructuring and devolving powers to the localized units, when the language is that, this bill now seeks to consolidate even more powers in the hands of the federal government. So essentially, the water resource bill controls water. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It controls the waters in Nigeria. So water in every form. The water resource bill vests power to have a control of that in the hands of the federal government. So a huge power grab water resource bill. So let's take that paragraph again. Opponents argue that the bill seeks to hand control of all water resources in Nigeria to the federal government amidst calls for decentralization of federal authority. The bill also proposes a mandatory, so this is the part that impacts on you. The bill also proposes a mandatory license for citizens wishing to drill boreholes in their homes, a move that worsens availability of potable water that the government has failed woefully to provide. So that is the paragraph of this whole narration. So the bill proposes a mandatory. So for you now, you see that borehole that we all have in our homes, you now need to have a license for it. And a license, of course, usually involves fees. So you see now where the grab is really the resource grab. This potentially could be more lucrative than oil. So every single home in Nigeria that has a borehole, which is essentially every single home in Nigeria, will now be taxed with a water bill. So that water bill So that water bill essentially mirrors your power bill. So you know how they come and paste your power bills on your gate every so often. So you will now be getting a concurring water bill as well of the same like. So every single home then require the license. So this is what is saying a huge tax on the Nigerian person. So they don't provide you with water, you provide yourself with water, and even then they want to tax you for it. So what exactly justifies that tax is the pushback on the bill. The bill also proposes so the paragraph again that is, the bill also proposes a mandatory license for citizens wishing to drill boreholes in their homes, a move that worsens availability of potable water that the government has failed woefully to provide. However, the minister declared that the federal government has taken a firm decision to regulate the water delivery system as no data exists to effectively reform the sector. Mr. Adamu, at a ministerial briefing organized by Presidential Communications Team in Abuja on Thursday, said, "Obviously, I have said so much about this bill. People have been deliberately misinformed. The bill was deliberately politicized unnecessarily, something that is good for the development of the country. And in any case, 96-97% of the provisions in that bill already exist in four different laws: Water Resource Act 2004, Nigeria Hydrological Service Act, River Basin Development Authority Act, and the National Water Resource Institute Act. We are still working with the National Assembly on this bill. I think probably they were so engrossed with the petroleum industry bill and the electoral bill, which are of course serious national priorities, and they were not able to come to talk about it. But already we have done all the things that are needed to be done. The issue that was raised, the technical issue about gazetting, had been addressed. So the bill is still before the National Assembly. The bill had already been rejected twice at the National Assembly in 2018 and 2020, yet Mr. Buhari represents it. So this is it, the water bill. So they are not able to provide you with a pipe-borne water in Nigeria, of course. You dig a borehole, but then they slap a tax on it. So this bill, as they said, had previously been presented. So let's just look at it in its previous incarnations. Nigerian Parliament dropped controversial water resource bill. So there's also a Fulani undertone to this as well, but we'll get to that in the course of our discussions. The National Water Resource Bill on Tuesday. So this is a throwback article. This was from September 2020. It's just to give you a bit of a background history to this bill. Nigerian Parliament drops controversial water resource bill. The National Water Resource Bill on Tuesday created a stir in the House of Representatives after members rejected the procedure adopted in passing the bill at the last sitting before they went on their annual vacation. The commotion began when Ben Nzodu, PDP Benue, moved a motion objecting to the procedure. Mr. Nzodu argued that Order 18 of the House Rules stipulates that any bill passing from one parliament to the other must be re-gazetted before being committed to the committee of the whole for consideration. He also argued that a bill that is passed without this procedure would have he also argued that a bill that is passed without this procedure would have to be taken through the whole process of legislation, starting from the first reading. Nkem Abonta, PDP Abia, said the issue is constitutional, adding that since the issue of water is covered in the Land Use Act, the House lacks the jurisdiction to pass such a bill as it will go against the Constitution. But Speaker Gbadabamila said the issue at stake is a procedural, said the issue at stake is procedural and it is important to go along with it. He said the issue of privilege would not have been debated but for the sensitivity of the bill. So it's been rejected twice under two parliaments, but it looks as though they continue to represent it. But why are they representing it is the question. The answer, of course, more lucrative than oil. This bill, if it passes through. Imagine, let's even say it's 1,000 naira a month, or let's even say it's 500 naira a month that you are required to pay as your borehole tax. So that 500 naira a month, multiply that by the population of Nigeria, and then you look at, and then you are beginning to get close to the sums of monies that is in contention. So this is why they are propelling it. But what is being propelled within the PDP? PDP Board of Trustee, we will determine fate of Uche Secondus'S led NWC in 72 hours. So the Board of Trustee meets, and of course, the team that is meeting led by Bukola Saraki. So again, that headline, PDP Board of Trustee, we will determine fate of Uche Secondus'S led NWC in 72 hours. So let's see now what's been said here. The committee set up by the People's Democratic Party PDP Board of Trustees to resolve the internal leadership crisis rocking the party will determine the fate of Uche Secondus led National Working Committee (NWC) between 42 to 78 hours. Former Senate President Senator David Mark said this whilst briefing newsmen on the outcome of the board's meeting held on Thursday in Abuja. He described the meeting as cordial and fruitful, but asked if the current NWC of the party would be allowed to complete its tenure. The former Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, said that the committee members would meet between 48 to 72 hours for the way forward. Mark said that the board resolved to set up a committee comprising governors, members of the Board of Trustees, National Assembly caucus of the PDP, the National Working Committee, former governors, and former ministers to look into the matter. He said that the committee was needed not just to resolve issues related to the recent resignation of 7 deputy national officers of the party, but to make PDP more united. He also denied the rumors that Governor Yemson Wike of Rivers State was summoned to the meeting, saying Wike was a member of the board and he attended as a member. Saraki advised against making points Saraki advised against making point out of who attended the meeting for the first time, saying as a member, I was attending for the first time for a long time. We all come together to address some issues, and because of the urgency of the matter, we agreed to set up a committee urgently. Within the next 48 to 72 hours, the committee will meet, and at the end of the meeting, the country will see the direction the party is going. The commitment of everybody to attend this meeting and subject themselves to the decision of the meeting shows the interest of everybody. The presence of all of us here is because this meeting of today is important in addressing some of those issues. My message to Nigerians is that we know the importance of this party to this nation in addressing the challenges ahead of us. So let us come together as a party and salvage this country. So those are Saraki's words. The PDP now to make a decision on the fate of Uche Secondus within the next 3 days. So that was yesterday. So pretty much by Monday, he should know his fate. But then, of course, lots of question marks as to what is going on within the PDP. 3-4 months from convention, they are looking to change the chairman of the party. So what has led to this sudden urgency is the question. Who do they have in on the substitutes bench? to bring in to head some caretaker committee is the other question. Why would they give this impression or put it out there in the public space that there's tension in their midst and they're acting in a rudderless way? Is another question. So, why are they creating chaos in a party that should be showing harmony and togetherness just to contrast against what we're seeing in the APC? So, a lot of these things in permutation, but all of it often always boils down to politics. So, what you're seeing essentially are political camps taking digging in their trenches essentially. So political camps digging in into their trenches. So whichever trench, whichever camp which is Secondus is, the opposition camp is looking to move him out of situation to facilitate for their own agenda. So that is my reading of it. But I'll be curious to see if there's anyone with a secondary opinion or willing to take that on when I come back into the room. But before I come back into the room, let's go to the Twitter space. Twitter suspension, threat to human rights. This is the United States Counsel General saying this. So now let's find out what is being said here. The United States Consul General in Lagos, Claire Pierangelo, Pierangelo, Pierangelo. So the United States Consul General in Lagos, Claire Pierangelo, has expressed concerns about the suspension of the microblogging platform Twitter and the new legislation to check social media use and prosecute offenders which would encroach on human rights. Pierangelo stated this on Wednesday whilst speaking at a program titled a conversation on press freedom, freedom of expression, and civic space in Nigeria in Ikoyi, Lagos. According to Pierangelo, Nigeria has a vibrant democracy and a relatively free press, but the suspension of the microblogging platform Twitter and the new legislation to check social media would encroach on human rights. She said, I have been in Lagos as a consul general since 2019. I have spoken with hundreds, perhaps thousands of Nigerians about democracy, elections, and the history of Nigeria. These conversations have shaped my perception that Nigeria has a vibrant democracy and a relatively free press. However, some concerns remains about the freedom of journalists to do their job. But we are encouraged by the meeting between Twitter and the government's technical committee aimed at resolving the suspension. History is full of cautionary tales showing that when governments try to limit citizens' right to talk about certain topics, important conversations are pushed into the shadows. Rigorous debate promotes transparency and social stability, she said. To keep the press free, Pierangelo said reporters, editors, media executives, and civic society representatives must remain vigilant to protect the right to freedom of expression and freedom of the press. The program featured a panel discussion moderated by TVC news anchor Mike Okoche. The panelists were Fisayo Soyombo of the Foundation for Investigation Journalism, Arise TV Managing Director Ijoma Owogugu, and GT Ogunwe, Chambers Principal Counsel GT Ogunwe. Some prominent journalists and media scholars in attendance were the president of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mustafa Issa, Emeritus Professor Ralph Akin Feleye, and Executive Director of Media Career Development Network, Lekan Otu Fudunri. So, Otu Fudunri. So, there we are, our press freedom in Nigeria. Is there such a thing as press freedom in Nigeria? Ade Koko, is that not what they call an oxymoron? Press freedom and Nigeria. Good to see you, Ajale Koko.
One man. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Uh,
All right, so to press freedom in Nigeria and the alarms that the Americans are sounding, that are, you know, especially around Twitter. So you might well say that they are protecting their own business interests, but nevertheless, slowly by slowly, we had Decree 2 and Decree 4 under this guy military, and is bringing it back under the civilian dispensation, so that the water resource bill and the goings on in the PDP. So Ajanleko.
Um, I didn't hear the detail well on the Twitter. I didn't hear the story well because
No. What she was
mm,
saying essentially, it was that uh the ban on Twitter is just showing all of the signs of encroaching on freedom of expression. That the space of expression is being stifled, and there are more and more regulations coming into play to stifle that media space, or really the conversation space, because social media is also a conversation space. So she is citing that Twitter ban as an encroachment on a right to free speech, which she's then saying is an encroachment on fundamental human rights. So the stifling of the press space is what she was speaking to, the Consulate General of the United States to Nigeria.
oh, that is Consular General of the United States,
Yes,
Nigeria, saying that.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
It is good that they are seeing it that this administration is already trampled on the on what we know as press freedom. There's no press freedom in Nigeria anymore. We're under um, military rule in civilian agbada.
Garb, yes, in Agbada.
So, yeah. So it is good that they are seeing it, and for them to come out and speak against it says a lot. This administration is not a smart administration at all. They are. I don't know the way. I don't know why they cannot sit down and look at the situation by themselves and then try to pull back and
Do you
start.
think the problem essentially is that the all the ideas and philosophies of this administration are essentially antiquated? Because of course, what they are trying to do is, Buhari is a man from the 80s. That was when he was in his full pump, and that was when he formed his ideological grounding, his ideological leanings. So that was where he was formed ideologically in the 80s, but then it doesn't look as though he has gone with the times to understand the times that we're in now. So what seems to be the case in Nigeria is that this guy is trying to force the fundamentals of the 80s into this era that we're in now. And it's, of course, never going to fit, because it's almost a different, in fact, it's entirely a different world, isn't it? From when Buhari was in his pump to the times we're in now. So using 80s ideas to tackle 2021 situations.
Yes, that military mentality
Mm,
and military style of, of ruling is
mm,
what is actually in a sense, and that is what is trying to uh, use, to rule Nigeria. It's not governing Nigeria, and it's
mm,
so unfortunate that civilians, people that I mean, the politicians and civilians that surround this man cannot, push back against him just because of what they want to eat, just
mm,
because they want to remain in power and, and continue to loot all the opportunity that is there, looting. And that is why they are backing this man. they should be able, like the Muhammad,
Yeah, who is a sharp man? People were arguing with me. I'm sure not you that guy is not a sharp man, but he is a sharp man. You don't get sharper than like Mohammed. He has an international brain.
it's, I mean, you cannot. I think what they are doing is they found themselves in power, and they discover that they don't have that. They don't have that. How do I say it? They don't have the solution to all the problem that they promised Nigerians, and they knew that if they have to come clean, that they cannot manage this thing well, Nigerians will kick them out of power. So they resolved to, okay, let's continue using force.
They came in unprepared, and they are trying to use brutishness to foist it. Yes,
they came in unprepared. They don't have the blueprints to, solving all the problem they promised they're going to solve, and they were so confused. They don't know how to go about it, and they said, okay, we got to start, lying and use the brutal way.
You know what I think, Ajanle Koko? I think all of their permutations was never that they were going to come into power, because they thought Goodluck Jonathan was going to self-perpetuate. So all of their permutations was then how they're going to launch it, because we're seeing it with all these Fulani headsmen and all of the reports that all these headsmen were saying they were brought in for 2015 and they were not paid. So all their permutations was that Goodluck Jonathan will self-perpetuate, and then they were going to wage against him with all of these people that they have imported. So he then gave them the power. So now they are completely confused. So they didn't calibrate for becoming, they were just thinking that, okay, he will return himself in the office and then we'll wage a war against him. So that was so this is what we're seeing playing out, just my own assessment.
Yes. I mean, it's obviously clear that they are not prepared to solve. They don't have the blueprint. They don't have nothing. So they found themselves in power. They were able to deceive Nigeria with all their lies, and Nigerians, fell into their their crushes, and now they find themselves in power, and they are now struggling. And instead of them to get the best brain,
that is the biggest, that is the cardinal sin that this Buhari has committed. We know that it's unprepared, and we know that it's unintelligent, but him not then getting that intelligence to then guide his, even if it's a minimal impact. So they didn't get the best brains. This is the thing,
Instead of getting the best brain around him, who would have helped him, to, start solving the problem, because his core reason of coming to power in the first place is to Fulanize Nigeria, is to have his own people in strategic positions.
Do you think that was his original idea, or do you think that evolved within the space? Do you think that was just the idea then that propelled him when he came into power, or do you think that was always his intention to try and Fulanize Nigeria?
That was war. That was all his intention. His intention is to Fulanize, to have his people, Fulani people, in strategic position, but a lot of our southern brothers like Tinubu and all the rest didn't know that this man is a highly tribalistic man. They didn't know until when he got to power, and it started well, as if, okay, let us be nice to them.
I am for everybody and for nobody.
Yeah, I'm for everybody, I'm not for nobody. It started like that, and people didn't know. And gradually, it started taking our people out of those strategic positions, putting his people. And by the time it became clear to everybody that, what is this man doing?
They've taken over everything.
He has taken over, and it decided not to pull back, to continue it. But that was his original agenda of coming to power. So that is why and those people he put there, they are not even smart people. You understand what I'm saying? If they are smart people, smart people like what do you call this central bank, former central bank governor Sanusi, or like El Rufai, yes, maybe we would have been seeing something different, because those guys are smart.
Ajale Koko, not a single person would really care. And when I'm saying not a single person, I don't mean everybody, of course, but the majority would not really care if 100% Fulani in every office, but they are fit for purpose and they are true to purpose, and you can see the country developing. Who cares who is there?
Cares?
If the country is developing, if you are driving safely from Lagos to wherever, and you can, your life is easy and everything is insulated, for who cares who is in charge?
Cares?
It's only when we see this incompetent level of Humpty Dumptys that anyway.
That was it. If Ruatai was a very competent officer, and he went after, he had gone after these terrorists in the bush and killing them and suppress and attack them, Nigerians would be so mad against these people. But who cares? In the 70s, when Muritala was the president, was head of state, and was killed, what? The whole federation, everybody in Nigeria were crying when Muritala was assassinated. Muritala was a Fulani man, and he was killed in attempted coup by Dimka. He was killed. Everybody in Yoruba land was crying because this guy, for only 6 months that he governed Nigeria, we saw the difference. We saw the way he transformed things. I mean, things started changing. It was Fulani man. Nobody cares. When Gowon was there, I mean, Gowon was a northerner. Who cares? He did the best he could do. He put the best brain around him. He had Obafemi Awolowo. He took him out from prison. He put him in position of finance commissioner. He took now out of prison. He put him in maybe information or some strategic position, and he governed the nation very well. That was the best time we had in Nigeria. But look at this man now. He's there. He had his incompetent people in strategic position, and that is why the nation is crumbling. If he had put the best brain and things are working,
do you think, because I think I've said this before, do you think this guy is intimidated by intelligent people? Do you think he has an inferiority complex towards intelligent people?
Oh, yes, because
Buhari.
Yes, because intelligent people will not let him govern the way he's governed. Intelligent people will let him see, let him know the right thing to do, and push back against him, against some wrong doing. So people that are well educated and well intelligent people, they will not succumb to a wrong way of doing things. They will not succumb to human rights abuse and stuff like that. Just like you know why they took this guy out, former central governor as Emaya, just because he was saying the truth to power, because he was attacking the governor that, oh, you didn't provide education for poor children. All these Nigerians are not supposed to be. You're supposed to give them education. You're supposed to build good road. You're supposed to do things, and that's why they took him out of that position.
And that, by the way, is the sort of emir that they need, that is never satisfied
yes.
and is always on the neck of the government and is always vocal. So that is the perfect emir they need in Kano to continue to push that space. Yeah.
Yes. So such a person like him, if he's serving under Buhari, he will push back against him that this kind of thing are not the right thing to do. These are not the right thing. They will stand up against him. He doesn't want people like that because he in his own death, he has that agenda of colonization, and those incompetent people he had around him are those ones that will support him to do that because they are not competent in the first place. They found themselves in one of the highest positions in the country, so they want to keep it and help the president to push his agenda, and that is what we find. So, but freedom of press is gone, and I don't blame Buhari for that. I blame the media. The media themselves are supposed to stand up against him. They're supposed to push back against this
how easy is it to push back against somebody like Buhari? We've seen how far he can go. So and a lot of these media people, they are just your everyday people. They will think, okay, now I still need my life, or that kind of mentality. So they are not Tai Sholani type. Remember Tai Sholani that will fight you toe to toe. We don't have Tai Sholani anymore. All we have now are people like Ruben Abati and the dollar. So is it? So I put it to that's a ridiculous man. All we have are ridiculous people now in situation. Quivering at the lip and just nonsensical people, This is what we have. No Tai Sholari anymore, unfortunately. What we have is Ruben Abeti now.
No
Delegiwa anymore. Not even Riepu is Ruben Abati now. And Oji Okwe. This is journalism in Nigeria now. Oji Okwe and Udo Abiola. This is journalism. Imagine that.
Oji Okwe that is always on Facebook or Twitter.
You look at that.
Story from story from Facebook.
You don't know if she's
on
in
social
a
media.
Or,
I start running there, and but we say Oji Okwe.
It's just
Oji nigga. Oji nigga.
It's almost like a comic book something, isn't it? I don't know if it's like comedy or news, what they do in that space, but the one I especially detest is that Rufai. It's just I hate all of them, to be honest with you. The only one I actually do like Ruben Abati, actually, to be honest. We digress.
I like him. That is very analytical
and very solid.
And very solid. But I was so disappointed. And that day they had interview with Buhari, the way he was,
and they let him get away. And they let him get away. Yes.
And he was sitting down with his arms like under his two legs,
schoolmaster,
and
principal's office.
Abiola girl was sitting at the one corner like he's scared of him, and you can see even their boss, that guy in black Agbada that day.
Yeah. Do you know how many warnings they would have gotten before? He said, if you mess it up, everybody is sad to.
The only one that was trying to push some strong question to Buhari was that their managing director, the one in the suit.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one that tried a little bit.
So when we were talking about Tai Sholani,
Onduka Obiagbena, their boss, that one was sitting down in big agbada like this.
That one came for contract now, It was, Oga, after now we talk, That was Oga, after now we talk. That's what came for contract. That one,
So I was just disappointed in Ruben Abati that day that he cannot ask hard question from the president. I believe if Buhari was, Rufai was there, he would have been very tough on the president, but they knew him. They didn't bring him.
The one person that would love to hand Buhari to really give him a good going over is Charles Onyagulu or something. He does these hour-long sessions. So he's a Nigerian breed who's just moved back,
Oh
and
yeah, that Igbo guy.
Charles
That,
Onyagulu or something.
yeah, I know. I know.
He will give him the beating of his life.
You,
If that guy
yes,
gets, it will give him the beating of his life.
of his life. Yeah, they
You
didn't.
know?
No, they knew what they are doing.
Mm.
Unduka Obiagbena brought those
The pata cake, the pancake ones, the pancake sellers, the chop by choppers,
chop by chop.
the chop by choppers.
So, but it looked like the media, they have sued the federal government to court over the what is the recent thing they issued against them by
the newest gagging bill, not to discuss Boko Haram
not to
killing.
discuss, Boko Haram. Yeah, I think they have taken them to court. That is what they're supposed to have been doing. They're supposed to have been, coming out hard against this administration, taking them to court, because this administration has, in the true sense of it, they cannot win any case at the court. There's no case they can win at the court because they don't prepare themselves. They just use military style, just like Showore's case. With all the lie, everything they did against Showore, they couldn't win.
I have never heard anything more ridiculous than that Showore case.
Yes,
so
they couldn't win.
I wonder if they have a legal department in the DSS, and if they do, if that's if the composition of that department are actually lawyers or just some person from the villages that they put there. They accuse Showore of money laundering. And you know what? Because this is one of the charges that really there's two charges out of all of the charges they leveled against Showore irritates me, but two of them irritated me the most. They accused him of money laundering, and when they said, what was that money laundering? He moved $20,000 from his business account to his private account. So that was money laundering, that he was moving dollars from one account to another. That is money laundering. So from the Sahara Reporters Organization, $20,000 into Showore's personal account, 20,000. Money laundering. You know what that reminded me of? One of the early interviews that Buhari granted, and he was speaking on Nnamdi Kanu, and then he said to the journalist, he has two passports, as though he has discovered some evil doing. That he has two passports, you don't know. Of course, who doesn't have two passports? Nigeria facilitates. So what are you? So it's that level of ridiculousness. So that one really irritated me, and the other one, insulting the president, was one of the. So it's just they just do as they will in that space, just ridiculous people.
Yeah, so this Nnamdi Kanu case too, they have to follow the rule of law, and there's no interference by the government. If they want the judiciary to do its job in the best way, they are expected to do its job. I want to tell you that Nnamdi Kanu will defeat federal government.
Are you sure though? Are you sure in a fair judicial system?
Process? Yeah.
Do you think Nnamdi Kanu can defeat the government?
They would defeat them on technical grounds.
With the charges level, okay, maybe on technical grounds.
Yes, on technical, because look, they don't have smart people. In this, do you want to? Okay, the attorney general that is going to come out against defend the federal government at the court. Do you think they are very smart? Do you think what's the name of that attorney general?
Abubakar Malami.
Abubakar Malami. Do you think a smart guy? It's not. They are not smart. Look, the team of lawyers that are handling Kanu case.
Do you think the team of lawyers handling Kanu's case are smart as well? Because
they are very smart. They are well prepared.
Because they always look like charge and bail sort of.
No. They are very smart and they are well prepared. They will, if the true um, the true process of, judicial process have to play out, I want to say most of the allegation against Kano will be knocked out at the court. The same thing with what do you call this guy? Igboho. They will defeat federal government because this federal government, they have this illegality approach of attacking and killing people, and their style of going to people's house and destroy. I mean, that is the worst that you can ever see in any
And by the
any
way,
part
I'm
of the
not
world.
quite sure where we're acting shocked and alarmed at what happened at Igbo's house. We've seen it first before, Python dance. So this was exactly what they did to Kano as well. So why
This
are
is
we
what they did to Kano.
pretending like we're surprised when we saw it at Igbo's house? Maybe
Yes,
we
and
thought
that
they would never do it in Yoruba land, Abi.
it was. I mean, it is illegal, highly illegal, to do such thing against a citizen, a nation where there's law. Why is the government not following the law? So on that ground, they are going to lose it. And some other flimsy allegation. You know one thing is that they don't do their investigation well and get all their facts well before going after somebody. They want to go after you before they start investigation. So going after you on what they are not sure about, that is the area that is going to work against them at the law court. Because in the first place, you have not taken the true process, the constitutional process on how to treat a citizen in your country. So the constitutional process that they always embark upon against it is going to work against them at the law court, because the citizens have the right, freedom of speech, freedom of association, and while exercising that freedom, if you think they are trampling against the law, then there's a process of of inviting them and talking to them and let them know that, oh, this is the wrong thing to do. But they don't follow that process. All they will do is just to go after that person, go after him, go and illegally arrest him, illegally destroy his home and stuff like that. So those wrong process of doing things that they always embark upon are what is going to work against them
There
at the law
must
court.
be a day of reckoning for all of these things, surely. Because a lot of these things, just throughout the history of Nigeria, we just had countless instances of this just miscarriage of justice, abuse of power, etc., etc. So this plays out again. So surely there must be some point in time when people will be held to account for some of these things. It's
Oh,
because it's just that impunity, isn't it? Really, this same word that we always end up on.
oh yes, yes. So they are not gonna be in power forever. So they will leave power shortly, and after that, people will go against them. They will sue them in their personal capacity or for wrongdoing while in power, and they have to give account. And if not, other than that, they could be taken to United,
To
United
international courts.
International Court for
Yeah,
genocide
did you
against
hear what just?
humanity.
Did you hear what recently happened in Mali, where they've sentenced some soldiers that killed protesters to death penalty?
Oh,
So
at
this, I think this
where
was in Mali or something. Yeah, Mali.
they took them to International Criminal Court of
No,
Justice, or what?
no, within their own justice
What did that?
system.
Can you
Within
see
the,
that?
you see, so this is because that made a lot of news. Just 2 days ago, this happened. So they've arranged them in their whatever their judicial systems are. and they've sent them to death penalty for killing protesters. And this is quite significant because it then sends that message to that space, isn't it? That
Oh
this
yes.
can happen.
Oh
So
yes. This
if they
can
follow
happen.
through, that this can happen, that if you kill protesters, this can happen to you. So if they follow through with that death penalty and they do it publicly, then that then sends the signals to all of these soldiers when they send them out next to go and quell a riot, etc., that if you indiscriminately kill people, this can happen. So that in itself, a powerful message. But we need something like that within Nigeria, I would suggest.
It is going to happen the moment these people left power. The moment they are out of power, a lot of legal matter will start coming up against them. But because they are in power now, they are using their position in power to suppress against any legal action against them now. But the moment they are out of power, they will be called to come and account for their criminal act that they committed while in power. They cannot escape it because in judicial, I mean, under democracy, there's a process of there's rule of law. There is well enshrined in the constitution. So if you are serving in any capacity and you didn't process, you didn't follow the rule of law, definitely when you are out of power, that constitution can be used against you, against your misconduct when you are in power. So there is no way they can escape it, and that is why I strongly believe that Buhari, for him to cover his butt when he's out of power, he will do everything to rig the election and put his own man there so that they can.
No, they have to do that.
Him.
You know, a lot of people feel that they want to rig another Fulani mine just to continue Buhari's agenda. Yes, but the main reason is all the atrocities that they have done. They have to have a buffer regime to insulate that, because this is what usually happens. If a decent person had come in after Babangida, for instance, he would have ended up in prison. If a decent, well, Wabata died, so maybe not, and then the other one handed it to the civilian regime. But between Babangida leaving and a civilian regime coming in, there's been so much that has happened that acted as a buffer between his atrocities and now a new regime that could have held him to account. So that was how he got away with it. So what Buhari needs is that sort of a buffer regime that will insulate what he has done from immediate probity. So if, for instance, if Atiku comes in next, everybody goes to jail. Everybody goes to jail.
They will go to jail.
Yeah.
They will go to jail. They will go to jail. But they won't let somebody like Atiku. He will look for somebody like him with that tribal tendency, to take over from him. He will rig the election.
Just to provide cover for them to escape.
Yes, just to provide cover for him. And that is what played out in the case of, what is the name of that guy, Buratai. You see, he was trying to protect Buratai. That is why after leaving the military, he hurriedly put him in the position of ambassador, so that that diplomatic immunity will still cover him, while they are in power, because they know that, look, a lot of cases are already mounted up against Buratai for what do you call this?
Human rights abuse.
Human rights abuse.
And violations, yeah.
So, Buratai is just a matter of days. He will never escape it. So, Buhari will do everything to put his home man, a hard-handed, headed Hausa man that is just like, I'm a Fulani man that believes strongly in his own cause. He know that person, and that is the person he's going to hand over to, so that yes, they that person will be there to cover all the atrocities they have committed. So
have you been following the water bill, Ajale Koko? Are you in that space? That water bill that they've been trying to force through the houses in Nigeria, the assembly in Nigeria, and it looks as though now they're determined to force it through, even though they've only got 18 months left. So, have you been following that bill, and what is your understanding of it? The water bill, water resource bill.
I, if that bill pass through, that means that Nigerians are in for big trouble, because in the first place, federal government is not the responsibility of federal government to provide water to people. It's the responsibility of the state government. So if the state government is not coming up with tax, like you mentioned in your commentary on borehole, why is federal government trying to tax people for having borehole in their own house?
Do you know? Do you know if they succeed in that, that will be more lucrative than oil?
What do you mean by more lucrative?
Okay, if they are, if because one of the marquee items in that water resource bill is this really ability that you have to have a license. They want to license the borehole system. So if you have a borehole in your house, then you have to have a license for it. Every single house in Nigeria has a borehole, and you have to have a license for it. If you have a license for it, then of course that involves some sort of a fee, and then that fee is almost going to be on a subscription basis, a bit like you pay your water bill. So let's say even they are charging you 300, 500 a month as your borehole license fee, and every single house in Nigeria has a borehole. So 300 per household in Nigeria, the entirety of that country. Look,
That's
just
a
look
lot
at
of money.
that's a
That's
lot
a
of
lot of
money.
revenue.
That's a
That's a lot of
lot of money.
revenue.
So this is really
But
that's the GBT needs.
Nigerians, this is Nigerians. I will expect Nigerians to stand up against this
You have a
barbarism.
lot of faith in Nigeria, so you always expect what inspires this confidence that you have in Nigeria as Ajale Koko. I'm going to ask you today, why have they ever shown you any indication that they have any backbone for anything in that country? Look at their. We had Arab Springs. You saw what the Arabs did. They said they had NSAS and they were just smoking Igbo and then went home. You know, it's just,
So if Nigerians cannot stand up against it, I believe they will stand up. I believe they will stand up. We have people like Falala Show and all the rest. We have them, they will stand up against it. Because just like I said earlier, federal government does not provide water to citizens of each state. It is the state government. If that is going to happen at all in the first place, it's the state government that should have been coming up with that bill that, okay, in their respective state, they want to start to tax people for borehole. Federal government is far away. To say you want to tax people, that is another abuse of power right there. And what are they? I mean, I can't understand it. Somebody have a land, he put a structure on the land, that land space.
You are not able to provide pipe bomb water. This person goes and digs himself a borehole,
his own water,
but
you
you want to
want to
tax
come
it.
So it is that is one of those illegal. That is one of those illegal
what is the difference between that, this water resource bill? What is the difference between this water resource bill, especially that borehole element? What's the difference between that and armed robbery? Yeah? Is there a difference between what they are doing and armed? Yeah? What is the difference now? Because this is armed robbery, isn't it? Oh, this is on the armed robbery, but it's just daylight robbery. Just
authority
criminal
stealing.
authorities stealing.
Authority stealing.
Look how long ago Fela sang all these songs, and everything still holds true till today. Soldier
Yeah.
go, soldier come. It still holds true.
So,
Authorities stealing. International thief, everything is still in play. All of the
everything
Fela
is
songs.
just soldier go, soldier come, soldier go. It's just
Authorities
barbaric.
stealing.
It's unimaginable. You cannot, when you are reading it, I was saying, what am I hearing?
Yeah,
I mean, I think the state government should take it up from there, and people's right to their own land. It's not. Are they trying to classify it as borehole as one of the resources that they have legitimate, to take over, and are they trying to use this Land Use Act? What is the basis of
the Land Use Act is actually one of the covering, because the minister in charge of this particular portfolio, that the water resource space, he is saying that a lot of these things in this bill, a good 95% of it already in law. So it's already in that water resource bill, like you said, Land Use Act bill, etc., etc. So it is essentially a harmonization process to consolidate it into one bill to then weaponize it. I think they're targeting that borehole thing anyway, because they see the money there. So it's a mess, but it's always a mess in Nigeria.
Well, the people, if they don't stand up for it, because they have their borehole, they treat their water in the best way they feel they can treat it for their own consumption, and government are supposed to provide pipe-borne water for them in the first place, that failed to provide that, now want to take over their borehole. It's like they are trying to take over your property.
You know what they call that? They call that double whammy.
Yeah, because now we have to look at the long-term effect of it. If they start the annual subscription with, let's say, 300 naira, maybe in another year or another 2 years, it will increase to 500. In another 5 years, it's going to increase to 1,000, and it will start going on, because it's definitely going to be identified as a source of revenue for government.
Of course.
And government is not going to, any source of revenue for government, the annual subscription is not stagnant. It always increases, as time goes on. It always increases. So it's a hell for Nigerian people, man. If Nigerian people feel that Jesus Christ is coming to save them, or somebody, a prayer will save them, they will die in hell on earth. If they don't stand up and fight for their own right, they will die in hell on earth.
Is the
because
question?
these people are creating hell for them right there. Hell.
It's already hell. It's a hellish experience.
They're creating hell for them. This is democracy. This is democracy. Nigerian people don't even understand the concept of democracy. That is the problem of what they have. People that are educated does not understand it.
The thing is, it is not in practice. That is the thing. I think people understand it, but it is not in practice, and people cannot get.
Democracy means fighting for your right. That is what it simply means. Fight for your right. That is what democracy is. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. People that you are elected to represent must listen to you. If they don't listen to you, then you stand up against them. But you see, it's just unfortunate that people just want to lay back and just sit down thinking that miracle will come. Prayer will solve problem. Prayer is not problem. Prayer is even.
Are you not a prayer warrior?
Are
you not a prayer warrior?
No, I don't believe in. You want to pray. You pray for your head. Pray for your head. Pray for yourself. You see the rest of those praying or go and stay for 9 hours or this, that one is just a jamboree. It's just a jamboree kind of doing things. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Hold on, the prayer warrior something is the water resource bill of the Christendom. That is their water resource bill.
Prayer, all those jambo, that one is just jamboree, like you're going for music show. That's the way I see it. It doesn't help in any way. What helps is your own house, sit in your own, pray and live and work hard, work towards whatever you want to do. That is it. But you want to sit down and keep praying and keep fasting, think that will magic will come.
Did you not read about manna from heaven in your Bible studies, Ajanle Koko? Manna from heaven.
Okay, let Nigeria keep waiting for manna to drop from heaven. Even the Israeli, where this religion comes from, the Israeli don't wait for manna. What they do is they go straight to point. If they believe something is happening they don't like, these people go straight to point. That is what they do, and that is why they are still existing today. They fight who they're supposed to fight. When it comes to using scientific approach to do this, the Israeli will go straight to it and do it. So, I mean, this is hell. They are creating hell on earth for Nigeria. So, if Nigeria people don't stand up, I mean, it's hell. It's hell already now. Before they know it, they will ignite them with fire that we kill all of them and consume them. So the people should stand up. That is my own recommendation to them. If they don't stand up, it's on them. But I know it will get to a point. It will get to a point that people will now see that, oh, okay, it is better to even die this time. They will stand up. But, you know,
it is
lot of work. It will get to a point. They will stand up at the end of the day.
It is the Charlie Boy conundrum. Your mumu don't do is the Charlie Boy question.
You are agreeing with me all of a sudden that we are not suffering yet.
He's not agreeing with you anything.
We never suffer rich with a flex.
It's the Charlie Boy conundrum I was about to say.
It will reach that point.
Your mumu never do.
It will reach the point of mumu don't do. I not agree now. When it is that point, explosion will occur, and that is when the whole problem will solve one time. But this is too bad. This is too bad. I don't know what to say about it.
All right, thank you, Jane Lekoko. Stay with us just for as long as you can. James,
how are you, James?
I'm fine. James, our
nice to see you this morning. Ovie, how are you?
Good morning. You did well today that you agree with me that Nigeria
we did not agree with you.
It's
not
your
position. No, it's not. No. It is not.
Your own is a different one entirely. I'm not following your route. So no.
We do the
we did not agree with you though. It has always been everybody's position that Nigerians have not reached that tipping point, and it will happen organically. But not in the way you expressed it. So it is not your position. It has always been the position. He has said this severally, even before you ever said it. But
no, it's because don't claim
credit for what is not.
Mr. James is looking fresh. Buhari is doing well on the side.
Look, Mr. James is a man of independence means. This is they sit on the oil well in Nigeria. You are saying is not looking. Who would look fresh in Nigeria apart from
Buhari is on the side.
How many oil vessels do you have, James? Are these not the oil merchants?
James.
Are these not the ones handing out the oil licenses? You say it's looking fresh.
Those who lay on Buhari, they are even skinny the Buhari himself.
Yeah, look at that.
James is part of the custodian of the Oba Benin of Polo Empire.
No. James is one of the.
They know they tax them. Tax them. Now them the pay come directly.
It's not like that, too.
James has a dollar room in his house. A dollar room. Just a house dedicated to Maybe when I come and visit, we'll enter that dollar
It's
room
only
together.
Nigeria. It's only Nigeria politicians and children that have dollar room, or not like me, my brother.
Look at that. Look at the very man talking. Good to see you, James. So to the
Good
talking points,
starting.
that water resource bill, Ajale Koko and I were just alarming about it. And
Yeah,
then
my bro.
yeah.
The
So
fact is
go
that
to
Nigeria is under siege. You know, it's a country that is under siege currently. So if you are able to take people hostage, you continue to dictate for them how they should go about their daily life, and that's exactly what is going on in our country. The country is totally under siege, my brother. There is nothing that is working. Imagine, those days, children born around the 1970 something and to early 80s, they know what is called pipe-borne water. I assure you, children that were born around like from 2000 down, they don't know what is called pipe-borne water in Nigeria. What they know is borehole. To tell you the level of our backwardness in that country, and we are not ready to admit the fact that things are not working, so we can move forward. But however, as you said, as Ajane Koko said, we are heading towards something. That is the tipping point where everything will explode, because at least we are seeing some imam in the northern part of Nigeria currently coming out to tell the government, look, we don't want Fulani Esme in our land again, in our state. So it's to take the level of the vision that is, grooming. Just a matter of time, it's going to explode. The original people, the original Northerners will not realize.
You know what I'm hearing in what you're saying. I'm hearing it go better, and even when I was even younger than Ovie, I've been hearing those words, it go better. So you're still speaking it go better. So when it go better.
What is that? It go better until we agree, say, the work. Or we force it into the system. You understand me? It's not working, and it's not going to work, or we have to do it in a different way. And few people are only benefiting from this, the way we do our things currently. So few people are just the ones that benefit from it, and a lot of people don't benefit anything, just like me and you. So those who are benefiting from it, they are getting richer on a daily basis in terms of wealth and material. But however, the way things are, the dynamic at which things have changed in the country is now hurting even those who seems to be benefiting from it since long, who seems to be benefiting from this bad government. So that is why you see some Emite coming out, top rulers, not telling their people, look, Fulani, leave our forest, leave our land. My brother, it's just like the same cry from Igbo, it's the same cry from Kanu and others. So we are just watching a situation where things may likely explode anytime, even in the northern part of Nigeria, I'm telling you. So we are heading towards somewhere, my brother. The truth of the matter is that those who are passing bill, when Lawal came in, he said he make it publicly that he's going to serve Buhari. Not Nigerians. Anything is going to support Buhari. So the bill is to tax me and you for consuming water, but the government doesn't provide water. Can you imagine? Even the borehole.
That's why I was drawing that analysis
you even know that
that's armed robbery.
Yeah. Do you even know that the borehole has some negative effect? We don't even know whether it's going to cause some negative effect like earthquake tomorrow, because they are drilling the oil, they are drilling the gas, we are taking the water, everything is beneath the soil. In other normal circumstances, it is this rainy water and...
Are you expecting Nigeria to collapse into the earth? You expect the country to just collapse into that hole that you people are creating?
Why you don't respect nature? You see what is going on in Greece, Italy, everywhere, Turkey today. You see fire burning everywhere. So the rate at which fire is consuming Turkey, Greece, as we speak now, is alarming. So things are changing. Look at the rain that fell the other day, Germany that is well planned. You see rain almost wipe out a entire city from Germany. So we have been playing with nature. What I'm saying is, as we continue to suck that borehole, indeed, there are a lot of negative effects, because those water took millions of years to accumulate, and we are just taking it. Expatriates are not even care to educate us that, look.
No, but it replenishes, does it not, when it rains?
I don't think so, because that one is a different type of water entirely.
It is the rainy water we're supposed to purify and drink, even the one we have used before.
Are you practicing what you preach? Because I've heard you say this before. So are you practicing what you're preaching? Are
I'm not
doing this
am
ecosystem that?
am I the governor of my state? I'm not the governor. Under normal circumstances, not to concern central government with a water bill. It's the state government that's supposed to provide water. That is the law. So I don't know how come they change the law. And the water bill even comprises some dangerous pages whereby they have to take over our river in the south, so the federal government will be controlling the river area and everything. It means the land will not be.
Yes, that is the Fulani angle that I was trying to get
so
at.
that is another dangerous aspect of the water bill. It's not just only the monetary aspect. So we don't know, but all I'm praying for is that we shouldn't explode unexpectedly, because if it happens, it's going to consume a lot of life for nothing. But the way we are going now, I think crisis is inevitable, because Buhari is not ready to listen, is not ready to change. And a lot of people are waking up within his own region that is saying, look, this is not the way to govern us. They went to a conference. The purpose of the conference is to come and lie to Nigerians. And the Emir of Sokoto came out and told them, no, this is not the place where you come and tell Nigeria things are working. Things are not working. We are in a bad situation, man.
James, rather, you say people are rising up in his region against what he's doing, but are they? Because there has to be a body of people that he is by his backing that are backing him, that he is banking on. He can't just stand alone and go this way. He has to have the tacit understanding that he has the backings of some people to be able to do this. So, I mean, I essentially get into the point that the North still largely back him, essentially, is what I'm trying to...
Yeah. See, what is going on is this. The Northerners, they themselves, they are in a terrible situation. They can no longer farm. Their women are being raped by Fulani herdsmen. People are being killed. The same Northerners are paying terrible price, and they never expected it. This is the first time you see Emma telling you Fulani. They never separated themselves before. Say, Fulani bandit, don't stay in my state again. I don't know whether those people that are, they have their own tribe, but ever since they've seen themselves as one, they don't speak against themselves. So when you see Emma coming out to speak against particular tribe, you should understand that this issue is serious. Because now there are people who are going to pay attention to it, that indeed these guys are bad. I don't know whether you understand. What is going on in the northern part of Nigeria is worse than what is going on in the south, in the hand of Fulani. So they are killing people. They are, destroying everything. Their entire life would have been destroyed. Let me just say that word. And that is why they are coming out to challenge them, to tell you, look, this is not what we voted for. It's just like someone has been supporting you, but your outcome is not encouraging that person to come to support you. That person is going to turn against you, and that's what we are witnessing. Indeed, they still remain like Northerners. Okay, what's the other conference? You see this, is it not Jeremiah Oseni? They came out to hold North Central Forum or something like that recently. So it's to tell you, everybody is now carving their territory, trying to put their heads together, because the reality is on ground that indeed we are in a crisis. Even the Northerners or the Fulani, they can no longer manage the situation. The situation is out of hand already. This is not what they expected. It's already out of hand. One, those who are criticizing Buhari are also afraid for the power not to shift to the north anyway. But they want someone that will not be like Buhari within their own region to replace Buhari. But at the same time, there are groups in the northern part that want someone that even harder than Buhari to finish the job for them.
Yeah, but that person is El Rufai, of course. So we will know the trajectory of this, because there are two, they call them hawks. There are two hawks in the Buhari administration, especially, that are tilted towards that Asurok seat. So there's Abubakar Malami, who is propelling himself because he has Buhari on lockdown, and he has the party structure as well. He appointed Mia Malabuni. He controls Buhari, and because his original ambition was to which state was the governorship of Kebbi State in the next round of elections. That was his original ambition, but it looks as though he has now heightened that ambition to see that there's a window, there's a pathway to the presidency. So he is plotting his way to that presidency. El-Rufai is plotting his way to that presidency too. So if either of those two elements get to that seat, then it will be repeat and rinse and continue. So rinse and repeat essentially. So it will just Buhari continuing essentially because Abubakar Malami is Buhari and Buhari is Abubakar Malami and El-Rufai the same. So you have that, and then you have all of the other permutations of power wanting to shift to the south. So a lot of that in play, but interesting times for Nigeria coming up.
I don't believe power will come to the south for now, the way I'm seeing things.
Right.
Because these people are well strategized, and they want to nominate somebody in the north and come down to south and pick one person, people like Wike, or maybe even possible people like this our man, what is his name? The one that is leading South Forum.
Fayemi.
No, this is the one that is leading South. So someone may pick him as a vice. I don't know. If any of these guys accept those positions, it means power is going to north. I'm just telling the truth. Or maybe picking a back.
Wike will accept. I think that
I think he from Edo maybe go there, or maybe a Kereduro, or maybe other person from East. Once anybody pick this position, I will tell you the power will go back to north. And the only thing the Southern are supposed to do, our governors, is to clamor for a bill that will permit me and you outside Nigeria to vote. But at the same time, we don't know whether the entire Fulani in West Africa will tell everybody that they are Nigerians. They are just in there.
Well, there you are. We never factor that. When we do all these permutations, we always think of the people in the West. But then if you're saying that diaspora votes, then that means the entire population of Niger Republic, the entire population, then they will be voting in Nigeria.
They are going to vote and tell you we are just Nigerians, we are just here on holiday.
We are just saying, this is our.
So we used to come and rear our cattle here, so we are all Nigerian from here. So it's going to be a disaster. My brother, the entire situation has been messed up. It's very unfortunate that Obasanjo did not, and Jonathan, instead of them to invest invest a lot of resources.
More so Obasanjo than Jonathan, because Jonathan is just is a lone ranger in the Nigerian leadership space. He doesn't have any constituency, but Obasanjo is a heavyweight. So a lot of the changes that needed to take place, Obasanjo should have facilitated for it, because he has the Yoruba base, he has the military base, and he has the experience of governance. So he had all of that to effect real impactful change on Nigeria, and he failed. But good Lord Jonathan is just a lucky guy, lucky all the way through from deputy governor to president without ever sitting for putting his name on a ballot once. Have you ever heard such a thing? From deputy governor to president without putting your name on a ballot once. This is the story of good luck Jonathan, just an opportunist. But then there we are. Thank you, James. Just for reasons of time, let me go quickly to Dan, and then we hear from Ovie. Dan, are you with us? Dan the man, our correspondent from Germany. Wie geht's?
Good.
Danke.
Alles gut?
Danke. Yeah, good, danke.
Yeah, alles good.
Super.
Alles okay.
Yeah, alles super.
All right, thank you, Dan. So to the talking points, I think the key talking point really is that water resource bill. So what are your thoughts on that? The water resource bill, which is going to vest essentially all the water resources of Nigeria in federal hands.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Please, Ajali Kuku, please, please give me just a second. Let me talk to Ajali Kuku. Ajali Kuku, I can see that you are really passionate about Nigeria. Please, maybe you will do vice president for Moyele Showore, so we can vote for both of you people.
No. Hold on, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. No.
I accept that position right now. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I take it right now.
And I will vote for you. My family will vote for you.
Mr. Dan.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy when you are just.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. Okay. I was very happy when I see you were just, you are very passionate about Nigeria. all the time when I see people who are really passionate about Nigeria, I'm always happy, because sometimes, especially my friends here, in some of my friends that we are working together from Ghana, sometimes they say we are too loud, but we can't do nothing. We always talk, but we don't do anything about politicians. But even small country in Africa, they don't talk the way we talk, but they react instantly. But we are just full of talking. Sometimes I'm ashamed when they are telling me this thing in work. That's why sometimes when they ask me to come to the dance to go and eat, maybe when we have break, I don't like to go with them, because I know they will bring the topic out. That is step aside. Let me go back to this water wave of 18. What I see about this water wave bill is, I think this north, they don't have water. I think those people, they just want to collect, the Fulani just want to collect land, because normally this is the part of Ruga. They brought this thing, they brought it because of Ruga, and they want to encroach land in the south. They need too much land in the south. And one thing that I want to beg all my brethren, all my Nigeria in diaspora, or the one in Nigeria, I just want to ask what do we want? Because I'm tired of talking. Let's go for what we want. Let's go. If Biafra we need, let's fight for it. If it's Oduduwa we need, let's fight for it. If we need restructure, let's fight for it. For me, I need restructure. Let everyone control your resources. Let everyone control its destinies. But for me, let's dictate what we want. Let's everybody unite. Let's stay for that platform and, fight for it. Because some people, as they are talking now, 2023 is around the corner. If you should vote for 2023 for anybody, my brother, we are doomed. Nigeria will be, when we are going to Nigeria, it will not look like it's our country. It's like we are going there for visit.
It will not look like our country. Go to Benin and see for yourself. Good say.
My own problem. Like me now, over 10 years when I leave Nigeria, I never visit. Sometimes I will say I will visit next year. I will visit next year. This is how my mother is always complaining about me. He says, I told him that I will spend 1 year. Now I'm 10 years. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when me and my mother are talking, he's always angry with me.
You don't go take wife.
No.
You think you are still
one man go soon will bite you. I go marry this year, December. Come Germany, I want to marry.
Don't worry. I have a bad. I will wear my title bead and come and
no problem.
Yes.
I will be very, very happy when you come.
Go marry.
No,
Nigeria, you want marry.
No, now my sister, now Benin girl self now wants to marry. Yeah, now my sister, we dey here together now.
No, that is against the law. Don't marry. What is wrong with these people?
Now they say though we for corner. I'm from how we be from Benin.
I'm just joking.
I know. That's why I just want to explain for you, because people are watching.
You when they talk, you say in Nigeria you go be like foreigner. Go out, face where you go see, you go fear yourself. Faces where surround out now.
Nah, true too.
You know what? I'm not a foreigner. And my brother, everything don't they change you.
If you see my family ask, erosion don't turn outside down. Thank God she's staying now. Baseki even they do gutter for the side now. Erosion, if you see big away there with now, it don't nearly consume out. I'm telling you the truth. But all those things, you just need to live there outside. I say my family ask, erosion have turned it upside down. The hole we are talking about is maybe when I want to build upstairs inside the hole, it will take like maybe 15-story building. It will not come out. So Awuchi is already disturbed, but we are just praying because of Shomole.
Erosion is a big problem in Nigeria, and it's just because everything.
You know what? Those water are the water we're supposed to be consuming. They're supposed to refine it, purify it, then we consume those water. Not if we're taking water out of the soil again, beneath the surface of the earth, and be consuming it, and someone is telling us to come and pay. So we are under siege, as I said, my brother. It's a serious issue. We just wait for.
You know what is responsible for that
But
erosion?
this erosion is this erosion issue we are talking about. It's not only Nigeria. When you go to look at Germany here, they are still looking for people that the erosion took away. They say 128 the deaths that they have found. They don't even know. You understand? This is local news, what they said, but because they don't publish it at, Germany, they have one thing. They know how to hide secret because they don't like it then to bring themselves out so that people should look at that. They don't have power to protect themselves, But their local news, sometimes they read the news. Even when Corona was killing a lot of people here, they were trying to paint the issue that, it's not much. But this is how Europeans play their politics. But the other day, erosion, he took a cars. Do you know how many people died in Germany here? But they will not read the news out.
But just on that, hold on, just on that erosion something. I'm not sure if you were around when we were playing one clip of some guy in your part of the world, Edo, those regions, when he went to that road that he was pulling it out with his fingers and saying that this is not good enough.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
So that is
yes,
what is responsible for. Yeah, that is what is responsible for erosion right there. So that drainage system that they should build around the roads to funnel the waters into a certain port where they can then use that water as a resource. They don't build the drainage, so the water just seeps into the ground and seeps into the ground, and then it shifts it, and then it shifts it, and then you get this erosion. So it's just really, it always goes back to the same thing, of course, which is just poor governance and corruption and just,
This is the problem we are facing in entire Nigeria. When I was very young, this guy they call Apatasin, I was very young when I was hearing his name in politics. What I'm telling you, back like 90s, this guy is always there. This Peter Apatasin. This guy is, I don't know.
Is he the one responsible for that road?
Yeah, he's the one that award the contract now. Is the one that I don't. Even there is one local Auchi musician that used this man sing. They call it Benji. I don't know if Ovi remember it because those music I always play them here.
Oh, Ovi is an American now.
So what I'm trying to tell you now is that this guy is really. I don't know. You are stole a law enough. Why can't you at least do little for your people? People, sometimes I wonder what kind of blood is he running those true people vein. You are looking, people are dying every day, and you have the money. This money you will not able to finish. Even your generation will not finish this money. You will steal it. You will put it inside the room. People are dying just because of maybe malaria sickness, and you are there. And you are looking those people, and you are happy of it. I don't know. I don't really know. Sometimes when people are talking about Nigeria, people always get emotional. Too much emotion. So that's why I don't like so much talking about Nigeria politics, because I just want to ask everyone here. Please, let's go. What do we want? Do we want there to do election or not? Let's fight for something.
No, you know what we want.
Because this election is a threat to everyone. I don't like, if they ask me to go home, if they are ready, I can go home to go and fight for my nation.
Dan, you know what we want, and it's exactly like James just said. So that election is neither here nor there. It's just by the by. Whether the election takes place or not, if the election takes place, it doesn't then end people's wish for Biafra or Odudua or restructuring. So that is what we want, either restructuring, which is the barest minimum, and that restructuring is devolving powers into sub-ethnic nations, either that or a complete balkanization of the country. So we're clear on what we want. So the election can take place, but it doesn't deviate or it doesn't change anything. So what is the problem is still the problem, and those problems have to be solved one way or the other, because that is where people are. People are either restructuring or pushing it that all the way to just complete organization. So that is where we are, irrespective of whatever happens in 2023 or 50,003, that is the situation. So how we then get there is the $1,000,000 question.
Yeah, should I ask you one question?
Go on.
You know, this election, the more if they should conduct any election with this situation, the incumbent government, you know, there is one thing you need to know about Africa. That's why I love this man, this P.O. Lumumba, this Kenyan man. He say Africa, he say it's in our blood that we don't want anyone to share power with us. If you should elect any president in this current situation, he will not devolve power.
No,
we should just go for. This is the problem. Let me land.
Yeah, go on.
So, because we just need to let them know this 2023, we need to end this game. Let's first of all, go back to regional government, which is 1963 constitution. Then we will start from there, because there is even Mike Ozohome, the lawyer of those from my tribe. He said, he said one thing that I understand. He said in 1963, he said even when they bring 1963 constitution come out, he said from 1963 to date, new incidents are happened that they need to amend some things inside, because people don't know about Fulani. But now, even for me, if they want to restructure Nigeria, every region we have their own military, because if not, the next region might attack you if they are still operating federal military. This is what I see, because every side should have a weapon and strong on its own. Because this is what I don't want to go back to Biafra. This is what happened to 1967.
Hold on, Dan. What you are describing is essentially secession, isn't it? If you have your own military,
not secession.
No, but what else? What you have just said is exactly secession.
No, I don't think so.
No, if you have your own
not
military,
secession.
Hold on. If you have your own military and you have your own state police, so you have your indigenous military, indigenous police, you control your resources, then what else is that other than secession? That is essentially a country, isn't it? If you have your own military, you control your resources.
Should I answer?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. That is not secession. You know why? There is something. The only law, they say in 1963, every region was having military. Not even. Of course, it was there.
Command as a region.
You were there before. This is not the first time. Every region was having, Igbo was having their own military. It's just that 1963, we have they do plebiscite, they do referendum, where they give us our own Midwest. So then we don't have strong military yet.
No. Each region were not having their own military. They have only one military, Nigerian military, and that's it. So no region have their own military. No.
Okay.
They have their command. They have their their military command in each region, but not military. I mean, not separate military for each region.
Before the military came in, most of the premier of region, one way or the other, have that kind of power to control their own barrack. So their own people.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to argue too much. We have Vin here, who's from the military, so he will educate us on that. Thank you, Dan. Just for pressure of time, just stay around.
No problem. Thank you very much
in the roundups. So, Ovie, quickly your thoughts. Ovie, are you with us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was watching the 4x1 Olympic.
Oh, yeah, you are wearing your Nigerian vest. You are supporting the team.
No, Nigeria didn't even made it there. But there's a Ghanaian team end up disqualified. But the Italian won. But in Nigeria, there's a Yoruba guy. No, I don't know if it's Yoruba or Edo guy. Osaolu.
That is the name of an Italian. Osaolu. Is that from Bologna?
Osaolu from Bologna. No, it's in
Look at that.
Nigeria, but I ran with the Italian team, so and they won the goal. That's why I was.
It's a bit like Anthony Joshua. Anytime he wins, he's British. But
Right.
when that fat boy beat him, they tell you that it's Nigerian born Brit. But when he wins, it's just Brit. It's no Nigerian born. But when he loses, it's Nigerian born. But
We will do the same thing too now.
to
So we
do,
are human.
yes.
Yeah, I think there's more, something that is taking up the airwave now in Nigeria. If you ask me, there's a new interview that came out about IBB.
No,
That's
I
an
saw it.
interview.
We'll cover it
That's
in
that.
in the evening session. So I
Okay,
saw
that
it.
was
So I've actually got it lined up on my screen. But yeah, that's for later on.
yeah. It talks on pretty much on everything that that is going on right now. Well, since we'll talk about that later, what are we talking about now? We're talking about
No, you can talk
sorry.
about it if you like. That doesn't prevent anything. But we were talking about the water resource bill, which is essentially a tax on water consumption in Nigeria. That is the reading of it. And we were also talking about the board of trustees of the PDP, saying that they're going to come in with a verdict on which is Secondus'S faith within the next couple of days. So just yeah, the usual stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, on the IBB, what stand out for me is the is when he was asked about 2023, the potential presidents, and he
When he ruled out
specifically
Atiku and Tinubu, Abi.
no, he didn't. He didn't, he didn't even. He specifically said that there are one or two, three Nigerians that he thinks, in his own opinion, that are capable of salvage the country as it is now. Which he gave criteria as somebody that is well known across the country, pretty much have friends in every nooks and cranny of the country with vast in economy. So those good stuff.
Yeah,
But he
he
went
said
ahead.
somebody in their 60s. Yeah, so which
Yes,
rules?
that's what
So
stand out for me. When I say
yeah, so
somebody in their
that's ruling out.
60s.
If Tinubu will tell you it's 69.
you know.
If 69, if Tinubu is 69, then I'm 16. But so that effectively rules out Tinubu and Atiku. That is essentially what he's saying. So he
you
wants to
know,
clear the deck.
yeah, that's that's an interesting one. So
Mm.
that stand out for me, and the fact that he actually supports, in a way, support Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho from an experimental perspective. He said,
No,
well,
no,
now
no. He
that
did not say that. He said
let
they had
no
the freedom of
wait,
expression to agitate,
allow
but
me
they are not
finish my
speaking to. No, I watched the
okay. What?
interview as well, so don't
But what
reinterpret
am I
it.
saying
Yeah,
now? What did I say?
you are saying he supported them, but he did not.
Allow me finish
Yeah.
now. uh, I said in a way from another perspective, from the perspective fact that now that they tested that succession agitation, now we see the reception that is not well received in Nigeria. That's from your perspective. It's not that I'm not saying that he supported it, they should go for it. He's supporting it from the fact that okay, now that they came out, they tested the water, they see a bit that it's not that popular. I mean, that's from his own view. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying come out and say, hey, they must continue. No, that's not what I mean. So they allow me
He
to
also
finish my
said
point.
Buhari is. He said he was a saint compared to corruption that Buhari is doing now.
Yeah,
That he was
I,
a choir boy compared to what he said. They are just looting billions and strolling down the streets. This is what he
exactly.
said.
He backed it up with what he's saying, and
Hmm.
can you argue with that?
No,
It's not.
no,
He's not
no.
saying he's done bad. He's not saying he didn't do anything, but
Yeah,
he's
no.
not
The
compared
lesser,
to him.
no, the lesser of two evils is still
That's what I'm.
evil.
No,
Uh
that's what I'm saying.
Small
He's
thief
not
is
saying
still
that he's
thief.
insane. He's not saying that he didn't do anything bad, but he's that compared to what he did, this child's play. I mean,
But he created
because it's
this
under a
environment,
democracy,
though.
he make
Mm,
emphasis on that this is a democracy. That was a
mm,
military regime. He make emphasis on that too.
mm.
But I think above all, there's hope. I see that he still believe that the Nigerian, and again, I have problem with the fact that I keep saying that the Nigerian will resist they. What I mean, are we not all Nigerians? So, but I think overall, there is this reinforcement of belief and hope that yes, we
No, he
can
has to
better.
speak to that now because he's vested. People like him and Obasanjo, they will always speak to that
At the third party,
over
okay.
overarching space. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So overall, I think
I've always liked the guy. He's
very
a very
composed.
charming man, very
Yes,
engaging. But
yes.
then when you look at his record and what he has done to that country, that is when you recoil. But sometimes you are seduced just by his charm and elegance. But then when you think back again, that no, hold on, don't let this. Maybe he has,
Yeah,
maybe he has dugurudu powers. Maybe he has some evil something.
I
Maybe it's
think
voodoo.
I
It's
think
using
I
voodoo.
think it comes with age. I mean, he's 80 years old now, so
Look
that's
at what that guy did
no.
to Maman Vasta. You know that when they
Yeah,
killed Maman Vasta, he had them record it, and then they came and played him the video. His best friend.
and
Even Wale Soyinka wrote to him personally that do not kill this guy because Maman Vasta, of course, was a poet. It was part of the literature culture that are elitism, that are literary elitism.
yes, yes.
So he was part of that, which Wale Soyinka was the arrowhead for, and he was pushing that. Look, this guy's value is too big just to be lost to something, whatever. If you have to jail him, jail him. And he gave assurances to Wale Soyinka that nothing was going to happen to this guy. Wale Soyinka left, and before he got back home, he was hearing that they had already butchered the guy. And what we were then hearing was that they recorded the butchering of this guy, and they went and played him the video. So this is a seriously evil man, but then
And
sometimes you're subsumed just by
And,
his
and they
charming.
went to the same school. They grew up together. Oh.
Yes, is that
They
inferiority
grew up to,
complex now? Because
yeah, they
Bama
grew up
Vasta was
together.
from a rich home and Buhari from a poor home.
They grew up together. They started the military school together and everything. So, man, it's sad.
Yeah,
and
inferiority complex.
he
That's
was
the thing.
asked. There was a question in that
It is
direction.
it
But
is
not,
Babangida that started this Fulani agenda. It's Babangida that started
Yeah,
everything.
Buhari is not Fulani though. Buhari is Nupe.
And these are already Fulani men. They have sold themselves complete to
No,
Fulani. They
it's
don't
not
believe they are
Fulani.
no anymore.
No. It's like me calling you a Yoruba man. You are not a Yoruba man now.
There is
But
a way
okay,
you can
carry
call
on.
it and we accept it.
Mm,
There is a way you
mm.
call it and you say no. You know? These
Well,
guys
no,
are they think themselves as
we will
Fulani,
go
they
there
just believe
again. You
one
remember we were there before. The title of your kingdom is Olu of Wari, which is a Yoruba name. The name of the Oba that sits on that throne is Shola, and you are telling us that you are not Yoruba. Your
no,
title is
listen.
Olu. Your
Listen
king is Shola,
listen to
but
me.
you are not Yoruba.
Some of these
I mean,
things,
come on. Eh?
you know why it's causing confusion? You people don't
There's
want to
no
talk
confusion
about
there. Olu is a Yoruba word. The king is Shola,
okay.
and you are not Yoruba.
Okay,
Abba.
let me give you an
Oh,
instance now. Listen
oh
to
no,
me.
no, let's not go there again.
The
We know we
king,
did that
the king
extensively the
that
last
was
time.
listen, the king that was deported from these people, 1897, King Jaja of Opobo, is Jaja Yoruba
Look at
name.
that.
The
Eh?
Jaja of
Uh,
I don't Nana of Ichekiri, I mean to say Nana of Ichekiri. Is Nana, is he a Yoruba name? So we have been together, we have mixed together. And when you look at that throne, the way they structure the throne, there is no difference between the Benin structure and that of Ishekiri. And you don't
all
have
right.
that in the Yoruba. Do you have
Okay.
Iyatere in
Oh,
Yoruba?
no. Hold on, James. We'll go to that again, but just pressure of time, and Ovie has the floor. So let's just hear
Okay.
Ovie's thoughts, and then we hear from
Next
Marvin.
time. Yeah.
Yes, next time. Don't worry, I will pin you down, but not today.
Yeah.
Ovie, back to you.
the earlier you guys have embraced the fact that we are all Nigerians, the better for us. So if not, now we they suffer am. This I'm Yoruba, I'm Bobo, I'm this. Now we they suffer am, me and you. So the earlier we agree say come is Nigeria and face it head on is better. So if the 18, so now one thing I think
Remember when Stammer used to come here and to try and convince us that it's nigger area? I just say we've gone through some ridiculousness on this platform, some real foolishness. We just
It's
it
Niger
was some
area. It wasn't really
brainless.
Nigeria, it was
We've
Niger
gone through
area.
some brainless conversations on this platform. But sorry,
whatever
okay, back to
name,
you.
whatever name we want to call it, the earlier, the faster we get to it now, the better for us because it's a long journey. It's far.
Yeah, don't worry.
We get centuries to go, so we need to start now. Yeah, Baba IBB again. You're talking about Vista Israel and all that. There's a question that indirectly towards that angle too, where where he said that he doesn't leave his friends behind. That is always. I think they asked him why is he still relevant among the power space. That this is mansion. This is kind of like mecca to anybody who wants to become even if you want to become Reverend Father, go there. You stand a chance of becoming a Reverend Father. So, and you know, say I think he can attribute that to the fact that he doesn't look down on anybody. He always bring everybody close, even those that don't agree with him. He bring them. He doesn't
That
forsake
was a
them.
political answer anyway. But,
Yeah. So
that was
now,
just
when you now bring this vista of a guy, then you now say, okay, this guy is your friend. Yes, you don't agree with him, but how you treated
you
him
had
is
him behind
different from what you
anyway.
are saying now. Yeah. But it's a very interesting, almost 45 minutes
Yeah,
interview.
no, we'll go through it again in the evening. But you just you are not
Water
really
bill,
you are not really
water.
interested in the water bill, are you?
No,
Really?
because I know if people that follow me like 2 3 years ago, I talk and they shut it up full and shut it up water coming worldwide. It's not long. It's not going to not be new. So how it's going to happen is what we are saying. Even if it's in a bill they are trying to pass, I'm not actually going into detail of it. If you know pass now, it will pass in the nearest future. That's a
No, no,
fact.
they are going to pass it now. They've been
So
trying to pass it since 2018, but
I
it's
received
quite impactful. What
I
the
received
one of
something like that too here in America in my mail too regarding how the changes is coming now and what that. And I'm not comparing them because I
yeah
will say when our government they provide, even though with the paper now
one
they
of
have
the
to why that is
just
private.
I don't know what's going on in America, but one of the marquee points of that water bill, James has just told us that they are going to control the riverine areas as well. But one of the marquee points of that water bill is that they are going to you are going to be requiring a license to have a borehole in your house. So the licensing of boreholes, which is some like a stealth tax, essentially. So that is one
Yeah.
of the things that is gripping people's attention.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not going to it. I am trying to figure out why. I mean,
Oh, oh, oh,
what
oh,
is
oh.
the
No,
what is the
it's a money thing essentially. That's just my reading.
so as in it doesn't it's not ridiculous to me, but hey, now politics with this, so they'll push for it. If we accept it, it will go and nothing will happen. That's what I keep saying. If they say
That's
about the chop shit, if we no stop them, we go chop them.
okay.
It's
Well,
all on it's on
no,
us.
don't
It's
say
not against them.
don't you know that we is where I always struggle with it.
No,
You say
now we now
it's
we are
right.
Nigerian now
You speak for
who are
yourself.
they govern? Not people that
You
they
speak for
govern.
yourself.
No, it's us. I can't exclude
Talking
myself.
shit is not part of your culture. We don't have that in our diet, so I'm not quite sure.
Well,
How that but
But the
I
Fulani
can't
say you
exclude
people to
myself
start
now. We all
eating before you
Nigerians.
go. You can put your nose close to it.
no, we won't put.
It's in a way now. There's no way I can put it down other than we. See now we are Nigerians. Regardless how far we run from where we are coming from, it's still
No,
on us.
I am an Oyo man. I don't know what you are.
Yeah,
thank you, Vin.
to
Let's hear quickly from Vin, and then we just round it off, and then we just take quick words from everybody, and then
yeah, sorry,
Ajali.
Mr. Vin. Sorry, Vin. I like the story you are talking with. The story you tell about the Kanuris and you were very on point about how the Sultan, how they're not able to conquer the Kanuri Empire yet. Those are my people. Kanuri is one of the most sweet, the sweetest speaking language that I can think of. If you know how to speak that Kanuri language, I don't think you disagree with me. Kanuri is very spot on. So,
Yeah.
I'm keen, that you pointed out that they're not able to conquer that region is something that still amazed me up to today. And they are still the only culture that still holds to their own, despite the ravaging and destruction of the external force and the
Abata was a
outside
Kanuri man,
state.
was he not?
Yes, I think it's why from Gomborungala, bordering Niger too. Anyway.
All right. Thank you. Vin, good to have you. What was somebody saying about the military that I was seeking your input? I've even forgotten. But we were talking about the water resource bill and the travails of Uche Secondus'S as the PDP chairman. So your thoughts on those, Vin? Good to see you.
No, let me remember you.
Yeah.
I say well, maybe when they want to change Nigeria constitution, then let every region have their own military, because we should not be they should not be centralized. Because why? Because of this is very bad to the society. That's why they can encroach the region that don't have so much military.
All
So
right.
this is what I think.
We go to fight war every weekend. If it be like that, we go to fight war every weekend.
Yes.
No, because you should protect your boundary. Because otherwise,
what he said.
Yeah, go on.
What he said that I disagree with. What he said that I disagree with was that each region had their own military. I said that was not. We are having one military, Nigerian army, and we've been having Nigerian army before our independence and since our independence. So region never controlled the army. What we had then is that we have command in each region. You know, they have military command in each region, but they are not under the control of the prime minister, I mean, of the premier of a region. They have their central control, who is the prime minister.
Prime
Minister then.
So address that, Vin. You are the military man. So did we at one point have military structures under our sub-region control? So address that, and then to the talking points as well, Vin. But start by unmuting yourself, though. You are not new to the platform. There you are.
Yeah. Okay. No, Nigeria has never had a separate regional military force or armed forces. You see, from the beginning, the armed forces that is the army, the air force, the navy, the police itself, as one of the paramilitary, was controlled under the prime minister. It was under the prime minister. The prime minister, the federal government of Nigeria, as at that time, controls the army. Security was under the prime minister, and that was how it has been. And they appointed what they call the regional commanders. And if you look at when before the Civil War, when the army took over, that was the time they had regional senior military officers commanding these regions. That's where you have Ojukwu commanding the eastern region. Then you have Hassan Katsina, the northern region, and I think is it Adekunle or who commanding the western region. That was how it was. So the army has never been under the command of the region.
Okay, so they had regional formations, but under one central command.
Under one central command, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that clarifies that. Dan was partially right, but not fully right. So he had something. Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
So you see, that was if they had a separate regional army. So that you are in a different. All of them will be different. Let's say different army in different countries in one nation, and that will spell doom. That will spell doom for that country. So that one is a no-no. So that is how that one is.
Yeah, I was just saying, just still within that conversation before we go to the talking points, that if you had your own regional army, you have your own regional police, and you control your own resources, you essentially have your own. That is a country already. So there's no. I mean, what more do you? That is already a country devolved. You know, that's already.
Yes. That one is secession. It's a different countries, in one basin. So that's if you look at you see in UK, the United Kingdom, their system is different from what Nigeria was practicing then. You see, the Irish, they have their own army.
Exactly. This is what I'm sorry. Yeah. I wanted to tell you about this because when you go to United Kingdom, the Wales is there, Scotland is there, England is there, and everyone control their own army, and they have everything. They control their own.
So that is not how it is. That's not how it is in Nigeria together from the beginning.
Hello. No, carry on, Vin.
Okay, so that is how that one is. So for me, I would not suggest that the army will be, every region. Even if there is restructuring, the army is the unity of a nation. And that, in fact, if you allow regions to have their own army equipped and, which means there will be serious problem. The mightier among them, the richer among this region will try to lord themselves over the other one. So that is my opinion on that.
All right, thank you for that. So to the talking
Vin,
points,
please excuse me. I'm sorry. I got a question where I want to ask you. I did passionate about this thing. I just want me to clear me very well. There is
quickly,
a
though,
one
because I want to
Nigeria
move
guy.
it on. Yeah.
There is a one Nigeria army. He was saying something the other day. He said because he was killing the Boko Haram, he said Hausa military on his back shoot him. He said, why is he killing the people? He don't know that they are brothers. You see, when you see those kind of things, it makes you to fear that even look at it, even the military, the Northerner has so much like 75%, while the South have few. So, but when every region control their own, they bring their own in, then the force will be balanced. This is what I'm consider. So, please still educate me about this too. This is what I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was true. I had it as well. See, what happened is that the level of, let me say, tribalism, ethnicity that has entered into the Nigerian army, and if care is not taken, it is good. Once the army starts, that will be the final stage of Nigeria disintegration, because that is where I think it is going right now. You see, during my time, I have never, even if I am fighting with one man, I'm fighting with your brother, one man. When you come there, you will support me, because the day I will go into the war front with you, your brother will not be there. If I am shot in the war front, you will carry me. Your brother will not be there. So what is the point? Me fighting with one man, or you supporting your brother while your brother, is wrong? So that is how we do. Even if we fight and kill ourselves right now, at the war front, we reconcile, because that, friendship, that patriotism is there. What you are doing over there now is not just tribal, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Tiv, Ijo. Also, it is that one Nigerianness that is taking you to that very place. That is what I see. But the way it is now, if you look at the recruitment, that is where I do not know how long we have. This is where the problem is. If you look at the system of recruitment in Nigerian army, I saw it myself. I witnessed it myself. Like the Abia State, Lagos State, they give you 40 vacancies. And in these 40 vacancies, you will do your recruitment exercise in your different states. And you go to, once you are picked, they will pick 40. Then this 40 will be, bused to Zaria Nigerian Training Depot. On getting to that place, there is a system. And I blame our people that time. Both the Southern, all the Southerners, all of them, I blame them that period. These things were going on and they could not say anything about it. That is how they have the larger number of representatives in the military, cut across. You see, Abacha list. After, let's say Kaduna has their own list, Kano has their own list. And after that, you will still see Abacha list. You will see Babangida list. You will see Mariam Abacha list. You will see Mariam Babangida list. You will see Aliu Guzo list. You will see Chief of Army Staff list. You see Chief of Defense Staff list. You see all kinds of lists. And these lists are just ways to make them more in number than the rest of Nigerians. That is what is happening. And probably most of these people that they are recruiting there do not even have second primary school certificate. They don't have it. And when you ask them questions, they'll tell you about Renchi. But they are there. And because they have the number, they are the majority. You see, so this is what was going on in that place. And that is how they amassed that kind of number they have. Till today, I believe that is going on. Till today. Look
even more so now.
Look at what is happening right now. I saw the recruitment names they published the other time. Look at it and you will see. You feel for that country.
There was a time they did a supplementary list. I'm not sure if it was the custom or whoever or the Air Force. 44 people, every single one of them from the north. Not even the token the token southerner just to, when they do like about 30 Fulani, they will put one Femi there just to say, look at Femi, Femi is from the south. They didn't even put Femi there this time around. Everything Abubakar and Ladi. So that's
That is
just,
how that is the level this thing has gone to now. During the Babangida time, Abacha time, it was a bit normal, but it was not as it is now. For me, looking at what is happening in Nigeria, I have never seen Nigerians so divided like the way they are right now. Honestly speaking. And you cannot live in such a country where you are not free to move from your own house to the next village, from your village to the next village, without being afraid of somebody catching you or kidnapping you on the way. Your security is not guaranteed. Here in Ghana, I can roam the whole. I'm not telling you that Ghana is more secured, in a secure place in the world. No, but what I'm telling you, I can roam from morning till the following morning, walk on the street from morning till the following morning. Nothing happens to me. Nobody worries me. The police will not even look at the police. When you even tell them, they will tell you, so okay, sit here or we'll follow you, we'll escort you to your place. There was a time when my friend got drunk in the center of Accra. The police people has to put him in the car, drove him but to his house, hand him over to his wife, then left. That you cannot see it happening in Nigeria. Once they catch you, they will even force you from those people that are being paid to secure you will be the people that will ask you to bring your ATM and let's go, and so that they will, you are wrong. You don't supposed to walk by this time. Who are you? What are you doing? Before you say, hey, Jack, the next time you are going there.
They don't arrest you to the station in Nigeria anymore. They arrest you to the cash point, to the ATM. So the station now, the sergeant waits at the cash point, the ATM. So they are arrested to the ATM and you are punished via your bank account. But just quickly on the water bill thing, just pressure of time. So just give us a quick sounding on the water bill, and then Baba Akure can round things up for us.
You see, what I would like to say concerning the water issue is that it's ridiculous that what the government could not provide, individuals are providing them by themselves, and they want to tax them on it. It is ridiculous. For me, that is ridiculous. And this bill has been there. The bill is this water resources bill or something like that.
Yeah, water resources bill. Yeah.
Yeah, water resources bill. If they pass that bill, government will take over all the streams, and whoever they want to be there will be there. By the day you wake up in the morning, you see foreign elements, taking, possession of that your stream, and you will not go there. You won't say no, because right now it belongs to the government. You see, that is the fear, and I don't know if the southern representatives, members of Senate or representative, will allow such thing to pass. If it passes through, then that will be very serious problem for our people.
All right, thank you, Vin.
I'm begging you. I need to. Duty just call. I have to run now.
No, thank you, Vin. I was about to round off anyway. So thank you, Vin. Always good to hear from Vin. Anytime you come, we take away something from whatever it is you have to say. So always join us when you have the time, Vin, ladies and gentlemen. So Baba Akure. I'm going to round it off after Baba Akure. So that will just be the end of the session. So Baba Akure, just the floor is yours now. So I'll just speak to the space. Baba Akure, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, good afternoon. Actually, I didn't really get much point about what is being discussed, because I just bumped to you on YouTube because I was doing something. I just bumped to you. I never knew that.
The marquee point that we're really discussing is the water resource bill, which they are saying they are going to force through the assembly. And one of the key points of that water resource bill is to state that people have to have a license to have boreholes in their homes. So if you and we're just speculating then on what that means in terms of just the level of money that government is going to get out of that. So if you're required to have a license, then that means you're going to have to pay some sort of like a fee. And then if they are charging you monthly, annually to renew that license or fee, then and the government, by the way, is not providing you pipe-borne water. You are digging a borehole in your own land, and they are going to, but they are saying you have to be licensed to do that. So we were just alarming at that and just saying, which way? Yeah.
Where I'm going to talk about that because I put borehole in my house. So
Then you need license soon.
I'm in that position. So it's not going to work in Nigeria. They can pass any bill they want to pass. People will rise against that. We've seen all this before. There was a time that they said all the land in Nigeria belongs to government. But today, what happened? The land still go back to individual family. So it is just nonsense they are doing. And I do hope that the Southern senator and representative take note of this, and all the governors stand up against this, because it is one of the primary duty of the government is to provide pipe-borne water for citizens, provide electricity, provide good road, provide security. Those are the basic things. So if government cannot provide pipe-borne water for me, and I had to raise thousands of naira to dig a borehole into my house, then now you want to tax me for so when the time comes, then if they do this, when the time comes, they are going to tax those who have inverter in their house. They will still pass electricity bill. In this case, then you have to pay for generating power to your own house.
You know you are joking, but they could do it if they. You are saying it like a joke, but
if they go to this extent, having borehole water in your own house, so there will be a time they will be now taxing people who drill conga, who drill well in their own house. They will be taxing them. Sorry, but they will be taxing them for having conga in your own house. Then borehole now. Then do not be surprised, because inverter is coming, that they have to pass bill on you generating electricity in your own house. Meanwhile, it is government duty to do all this for you. So I don't think it's not going to stand. That is my belief. It's not going to stand. I'm not even going to go talk much about that, because you cannot. It is like you are abusing my own right of generating water for myself. When you lack power and you refuse to give me pipe-borne water, then I generate it for myself. Then you want to tax me for that. So it's never done anywhere in the world. So let's put that aside. I'm going to talk about the military, because I know that Vin was talking about it. There is no teamwork within the military space. If you're talking about police force, you're talking about military, you're talking about immigration, you're talking about any uniform men, either prison service or whatever. The main goal is to protect the country and the citizen of the country. Either you are working in prison, or you are working as immigration, or you are working as road safety. Whatever uniform you wear, the core duty is for national security. But when there is no teamwork, then everything everything disarray. Because like what he said now is very shameful. That because some people are from north, some people are from south, then they cannot support themselves in upholding national security. So it is very sad. And I also see that there is no merit, based on what he said, in recruitment into army. If there is a merit, then it will have get better than the situation we find ourselves today.
It's saying that the recruits, they can't even speak the most basic of English. Baturinchi or something is what they say.
That is it.
English not required.
That is it. So those are the people.
What is the language of communication in the army?
Those are the people that they send to Igboho's house. So you're supposed to have at least you're supposed to have a basic language that among, because our official language is English.
Yes, that is common to everybody.
Exactly. I think at least everybody's supposed to be able to at least to communicate. It might not be maybe like 12 points, at least to the maximum requirement, which is maybe 3 or 4 points based on the English language skill.
Imagine if you're in the war front and danger is coming, and you want to tell your colleague that danger is coming.
And the
You
person
don't
cannot
speak
speak
Hausa,
Hausa
he
or
doesn't
cannot
speak
speak Yoruba
Yoruba, and
or
neither of you speak
Igbo.
English.
So
What?
how are you going to do? How are you going to save yourself? So it is very, very shameful. It is very, very shameful, and it is very sad that we find ourselves in this situation. The Nigeria that everybody have a bow for. Even I could remember when Tafawa Balewa was there, when he visited the United States, even the way they carried him at that time. But right now, if any governor do they even have time for Nigeria? They even if US want to speak to Nigeria president, is the secretary of state they will send to him. So this is the situation we find ourselves, and hopefully we'll get it. We will get it right.
All right. Thank you, Baba Akure. It was a short session this time. Oh, it was meant to be a short session, but you know how these things always go. So yeah, that has been the session. That Baba Akure just making a cameo appearance. He just saw us and he just said, "Okay, let me just join them for a moment." So thank
Actually,
you.
I was listening to interview between
Babangida and
Babangida.
did you see it? Yes.
I was watching it a little bit to finish it when I saw you pop up on the screen. Okay, let me just switch. So
just quickly, what did you make of it? Because I saw it as well.
It was a very smart interview. He knew what is going on, but it just divert attention from the main point, because I see he claimed to be smart, and he's a very smart man. He's a very clever man. So he didn't want to really offend anybody. So that is why he's answering questions diplomatically.
He was saying that the person that should be the next president should somebody that has national appeal, that is knowledgeable on economy, and is not older than 61. So essentially, he's discounting Atiku and
Tinubu. That was what I saw as deadline. But when he mentioned that, I was outside. So by the time I came back in, I think he already moved from that stage. But I think he answered the question diplomatically, and the lady that interviewed her also, I see her to be courageous. She's not afraid of asking any question.
Yeah, no, she's a heavyweight.
And repeat back the same question. If he didn't answer the question properly, he will repeat back the question. So, but we'll talk about it later today.
He is still Maradona. He was still dribbling. He was still dribbling the lady. And just
I know. He's just be a smart man.
Yes,
he's just be a smart man. I see that in his answering question anyway.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Baba Akure. So hopefully we'll see you later in the evening if you have the time to spare. So that is Baba Akure rounding things up for us. So just giving you a teaser of what is to come later on in the evening, when we shall delve a deep dive, they call it, into the Buhari interview. We might even play some clips of it just to see exactly how the man is positioned with his politics. So it was meant to be a quick session, but it has spilled over to a lot longer than I anticipated. But I anticipate your comments then, though, to carry on in the comment section, where the conversation usually goes on non-stop. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say, peace.